Last video, we left off getting most of our location detail screen up and running, as you can see here. However, I forgot about the navigation link part in my outline, as I do these videos. My bad. So we have a nice little inserted video here handling the navigation link. And then while we're here, we're going to refactor the location cell. So again, apologies if this feels a little jumbled. Hey, what are you going to do? We're going to roll with it. That's how development goes. It's never smooth sailing. So anyway, first things first, let's go to our location list view here. And then this whole H stack right here, right? This is going to be basically our cell. That's what it is. So we want to refactor that, right? So I'm going to take out just Command X. We're going to get errors for a little bit here. I'm going to put this in the same file for now. And again, like I mentioned before, I may keep it here because we're not reusing this cell anywhere else. But we'll talk about that in our project organization video. Anyway, we're going to want a struct. Move this up so you can see. Hopefully my head's not in the way. That's called location cell. There we go. And that's going to conform to a view, just a typical standard Swift UI view. Again, type var body, get the autocomplete of some view, open up the view builder, and then we're going to paste that in there. So basically that should be it. Now, what we should do here, because we're going to need this eventually, is we're going to, you know what, I'm not going to do that quite yet. We'll do that in our model because I'm not going to pass in like an image. I'm not going to pass in a name, because what we're going to do when this is like really built, especially once we get our data going, is we're just going to pass in a location, which is an object we're going to create later. I'm going to put up a little preview of it here on the screen. We're going to have this location object that we're just going to pass that in. That's going to have the image, the name, all the pertinent information attached to it. So we're not going to worry about passing that in quite yet, again, for this first part. So now we're just going to type location cell here, and that should hit resume on the preview. There we go. So no harm, no foul, back to where we were. And again, we just refactored out the location cell down here. So the reason I did that, as you're going to see now, is because I want to put a navigation link on this location cell. Navigation, we're going to look for a link. There we go. Navigation link. Initialize it. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of different things you can do with these navigation links. We're going to keep it simple. All we want is a destination and a label. So what that means is the navigation is asking, where am I going and what do I look like? That's all we care about right now. So destination and label. I hate the default implement or like layout they have for this stuff. So let's get this out of here. Okay, so the destination is going to be location detail view, right? That's the view we just built, but that's where we're going to go. And again, eventually we're going to pass in a location into this, so the location detail view knows what to show. We'll get there. And then what we can do here is get rid of this label here, add a parentheses, and just open up the view builder for cleanliness. And now we don't want to text this as navigate. We want the navigation link to be on the cell. So whenever the user taps the cell, I should have cut that, not pasted that. They are good to go. So that's why I refactored out this location cell. I wanted to take the time because trying to, I don't need you. Yeah. Trying to like wrap this entire thing in this navigation link gets confusing. You see how much cleaner and easy to read this is when all I have is just location cell. So that's why we did that. Now you notice when I did the navigation link, if you look on the right here, I get the indicators now, disclosure indicators saying that, hey, this is tappable and we're going to go somewhere if you tap me. So let's try this out now. The iPhone 12 Pro. Run it on the simulator. So here we go. Let's click on locations. There's our location list. Looking good. Click on one of them. Cool. We go to the location name. Okay. Here's what happened. Great. Perfect example because I do this all the time too. Look at our nav bar. Why does that look like that? That's crazy. Well, it's because there's two navigation views, and I'm going to tell you why. Because what happens here on our location list view, like where we came from, we're already in a navigation view. And if you remember me talking that that's like a container that holds all the other views, well, basically what I did was I added another navigation view into this navigation view. And why that happened was if I go to location detail, look, when we build our location detail, we're saying our location detail has a navigation view. However, we should just delete this navigation view altogether because we're already in one, again, on the list. So that's why you see the simulator look like this. We're doubling up on navigation bars, not the look we want. So let's go ahead and delete this. Again, that's something I do all the time, especially when I'm prototyping, because when I'm prototyping the UI, I want to see it in the preview. And I'm going to show you something that I always forget. But okay, so we We have an extra one of these. And then what happens is, this is a very useful thing in SwiftUI. I'm going to make this super small for a second. Anytime you get like all nested and remove something, just highlight it, do Control-I, and it automatically handles all your indentation for you. Everything's back to like normal. Okay, I'll make this big again so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so now you'll notice, let me run the preview, and now you should notice our navigation bar is gone, right? But remember, when we actually run the app, I'll pull up the simulator, hit locations, right? We're in a navigation view right now. So when I tap this, we're still in that navigation view, right? Now you can see this is looking how we want it to look. I'll do Command-Shift-A so we can kind of see. So now, right, in the same navigation view, right, rather than doubling it up. So that's a mistake I make all the time. And let me show you something, what you can do, and I always forget this, and because remember I put that navigation view up here because I wanted to see it on my preview. Well, you can just go down to your preview, right, in location view, and just wrap the preview in a navigation view, and then you'll get that look you want. This is the right way to do it. Again, I'm not going to say I don't have bad habits. We all have bad habits. We all do weird things with our code. This is one that I always forget to do and one that you should be doing. So if you want to see what it looks like in a navigation view when it's not supposed to be in there, put your preview in a navigation view and you're good to go. Okay, so that handled the navigation problem, right? We refactored, go back to the location list, we refactored the location cell so we could have a nice, neat looking navigation link. And now that is all connected, we can navigate to it, good to go. The last thing I want to do in this kind of patch video, I'll call it, side note, it's really hard to lay out an entire app, to make sure you cover everything in perfect order. So I hope you forgive me if there's little mistakes here and there, but yeah, we'll get through it. And again, like I said, it shows how development really is. So back to the location detail view, we want this to be a scroll view. Let me run it on the simulator again, just to show you that you can't scroll it. Click on locations, here we go. I can't scroll this view, right? We definitely want this to scroll. And you'll notice something else. This is getting squeezed. Our description, we need to put a hard code a frame height on here, because I don't know if it's like a SwiftUI thing. If you know the answer to this, let me know. But yeah, sometimes your description gets squeezed, even when you put that line limit of 3 on it. So we got to kind of hard code that frame of 70. So we'll take care of that and throw the scroll view. Okay, so back to our location detail view. Here on our description text, we can add a frame with a height of 70. We don't need width because we want it to stretch as far as the eye can see. And height is 70, and then the alignment is irrelevant. So now that should keep that to a height of 70. And again, all of our descriptions are 3 lines, part of the power of controlling your data. But anyway, now let's do the scroll view down here on this lazy V grid. Now, if you're coming from UIKit and you've ever tried to build a scroll view in Storyboard, it's a lot easier programmatically in UIKit, but a scroll view on Storyboard is an absolute nightmare. So when I show you how to put things in the scroll view in SwiftUI, if you've never done it before, your mind's going to be blown. All right, you ready? We're just going to scroll view, open up the view builder, take our lazy V grid, put it in the scroll view. There we go. We now have a scroll view on our grid. So let's run this on iPhone 12 Pro just to show you that I can scroll it. I think I could probably do it in the preview too, but I don't know. I'm just in the habit of always running things on the simulator. Previews have scarred me because they were kind of buggy sometimes, so I just go this route. Okay, let's click on the location. Now here, look, we can scroll. Great. So there you go. That is how you put it in a scroll view. Pretty easy. We could adjust. You see how it's cutting off the bottom one? We could kind of adjust that a little bit, but we're going to leave that for now. But yeah, scroll view, just that easy in SwiftUI. So this little patch video fixed things up. We're able to navigate to various locations. We got this built. These buttons don't do anything yet. Oh, that one does. That one goes to apple.com. I forgot. Is that the phone? No, that's the network one. Goes to apple.com. Yeah, so you're getting to see how Link works. And then, yeah, this will be where we check in, check out, make a phone call, and then, we're going to click on this face to show, their profile modal. But anyway, that wraps up our location detail view UI. If you did the challenge, I don't know. I'm curious how that went because there was a lot of extra stuff that I had to go back and do. So I don't know. That's going to be an interesting compare and contrast on the challenge. But that wraps up the location detail screen. We're going to move on to the profile screen.